When my father invented H2 Orange 2, he revolutionized the cleaning industry. When we harnessed the power of hydrogen peroxide, blended with the scent and the benefits of cold-pressed orange oil, it proved that you could have the power of traditional cleaning without the harsh chemicals that are bad for people and bad for the planet.
Talk to us about the safety aspect and the foundation of H2 and this new product.
No, great question, Dave. So we've gone back in time per se. This new technology, OxiGenesis, is built on the same technology as we did with H2 Orange 2 as far as the hydrogen peroxide technology. So when it comes from a safety profile, we went through the same steps, waited a very long time and we're very patient, but we obviously have the EPA approval. So this is an EPA registered product, just like H2 Orange 2 is registered. What's different about this though, is folks are so used to, H2 Orange 2, the citrus orange smell.
Right.
This has a different, I'm going to pivot for 1 second, Dave, because this is relevant on the fact that we came out with something different with this new technology as far as the scent. So it's available scented as well as unscented. So I'll start with the scented is a light floral fragrance. What we've done is we've taken that same technology that we had great success with on H2 Orange 2 and went one more level up as far as now with OxiGenesis. It's not just a cleaner. It's not just a sanitizer viricide. It's also a full-blown disinfectant. So we've hit the ground running, with this brand new technology. We're less than about a month in to our launch, and the feedback has been phenomenal so far. And we're really excited about continuing to launch this into different markets throughout the country and continue to not only grow the EnvirOx name, but open up new doors that we haven't seen before, such as in the healthcare market. We see this long-term healthcare, nursing facilities, post-acute care, where we've had some success, but I just see this really opening the doors now because of the fact that we have the disinfectant now.
Okay, for people that have never seen, doesn't know anything about EnvirOx and H2 Orange 2, what kind of product is this? I mean, give people a little bit of background about who EnvirOx is and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. So EnvirOx, our whole goal is to simplify your entire cleaning process. So regardless of what type of facility you are, you could be a church, a football stadium, a school, a building service contractor. We cater to all needs as far as in the cleaning industry itself. So our goal is to help you take, currently you might be using 7, 8 different products to clean your facility. We want to help you consolidate that and simplify that entire process by just giving you one product that has 2 dilutions that's going to take care of 95% of your needs. But with this new technology, which is even more exciting, one product, 4 dilutions is going to take care of 99% of your cleaning and disinfecting needs today.
Okay, so something I've always said for over the 25 years since I've been working with EnvirOx is that, you don't have to worry about mixing chemicals because it's the same chemical. We just use it at 2 different dilutions. Now you're flipping this whole thing. How do I keep up with 4 different dilutions in one product? That's just not something we do.
Well, great question. So we've dialed it back even further to make it as simplistic as possible, not only with our color coding, Dave, but on the actual dispenser itself. That's where you're going to dial it back to. So we call it a YGBR. So that stands for yellow, green, blue, and red. Those are our 4 different dilutions. So the yellow is going to be for your floors. That's going to only dilute at 1/4 ounce per gallon. Then your green is going to be for your glass, mirror, stainless steel. That's going to dilute at just 1/2 ounce per gallon. And what's really exciting, Dave, is this new dilution. Where did this blue come from? This is going to dilute at 2.5 ounce per gallon. this is going to be their sanitizer viricide. So in a previous life, they were used to diluting at 5 ounces per gallon for their sanitizer viricide. Now they're dialing that back to just 2.5.
Okay, so before you go any further, I think we all went through the COVID era, and we all know about that. And I think a lot of people understand I've got to clean before I can disinfect. Okay, so now do we clean before we sanitize?
So you're still going to follow, regardless of what product you're picking, you're still going to follow that same process. You're going to clean first, then disinfect. So yes, they would pick one of the lighter dilutions to clean with. They can pick either the green or the blue to clean with.
Okay.
And then step 2 would be to fill, they have the red bottle filled, they can come back and disinfect with the red dilution.
Okay, so we're not trying to talk to these people and say, hey, clean and disinfect with the red. We still want them to use the lower dilution because we're just removing what is on the surface before we go to the disinfection step, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I can go to a sanitizer. Give us some, give the people that are listening an idea of what surfaces I would be sanitizing instead of disinfecting, because we all know disinfection isn't always needed.
Correct. So some surfaces that you can sanitize would be, in a school setting, the cafeteria tables. That's safe to sanitize those tables. They're sanitizing them probably 5, 6, 8 times a day, but that's the surface that would be compatible for more so sanitizing needs versus having to bring out the full-blown disinfectant for that same surface. Now flip the script. If I'm going in the bathrooms, the handles on the stalls, I'm going to want to disinfect that every time. That's
Correct.
a high touch area. That's, in the bathroom itself. That's alone, they should be using the heavy duty. But on top of that, those door handles especially, that's where you're going to definitely want to disinfect versus sanitizing.
Okay, so you said red, heavy duty. I don't think we got to the dilution on that.
Okay, so on the YGBR, the blue is at 2.5, and then the next step up is the red. That's going to dilute at 5 ounces per gallon. That's going to be your disinfectant. That's where you're going to get your disinfectant claims, is when you're utilizing the heavy duty red.
So I'm just thinking here off the top of my head, and you've probably got this on top of your head, that RTU on a quart bottle's got to be really low.
The RTU
the ready-to-use cost on a quart bottle, if we're talking about this, some people are disinfecting with ready-to-use quart bottles of stuff. This has got to get that really down in there.
So we've got, I don't have that in front of me right now, Dave, but we have the updated in-use cost calculator broken down per in-use cost per quart as well as in-use cost per gallon. And it's definitely in line. For example, where someone was using heavy duty red on H2 Orange 2 was spending roughly around 88 cents per in-use quart. Now we've dialed that back with, if they're going to use blue with OxiGenesis, they're looking at around 54 cents in-use cost per quart.
And they're getting a higher quality disinfectant now too.
And they're getting a higher quality product, yes, in general. But dialing that back from 88 cents in use to 54 cents, that's 34 cents per quart they're saving. So we look at that as significant at the end use level as far as their continued savings.
So there's a lot of people out there that I know that are using concentrate for this, but there's just as many, like you said, schools that are still in the ready to use era. I'm thinking this is going to help them quite a bit.
Absolutely, Dave. So not just in the schools, but even in certain healthcare facilities, there's making a big push for RTU only. We're not getting enough yieldage with our current concentrate to meet these standards for the swab testing, et cetera. So we've seen an increase in that arena for the RTU usage, but now fast forward 6 months later, guess what, Dave? They've realized, well, we've spent $7,800 on just these RTUs in 6 months when we could have spent maybe $2,000 by moving to a concentrate. So we have a more open discussion now with someone who's had that time frame to use all that RTU and realize, wow, this is not cost effective. I get why the higher ups may want to do it, but our yieldage is just not there. So we can come in there and blow them away with our in-use cost per quart, per gallon, everyday usage, even with this new technology, which is really exciting.
So you're talking about the technology. So for the people that are listening, you can't see what we've got here, wherever it is. I can't remember how to point. The OxiGenesis is what we're highlighting. Talk to us about the safety aspect and the foundation of H2 and this new product.
No, great question, Dave. So we've gone back in time per se. This new technology, OxiGenesis, is built on the same technology as we did with H2 Orange 2 as far as the hydrogen peroxide technology. So when it comes from a safety profile, we went through the same steps, waited a very long time and we're very patient, but we obviously have the EPA approval. So this is an EPA registered product, just like H2 Orange 2 is registered. What's different about this, though, is folks are so used to, H2 Orange 2, the citrus orange smell.
Right.
This has a different, I'm going to pivot for 1 second, Dave, because this is relevant on the fact that we came out with something different with this new technology as far as the scent. So it's available scented as well as unscented. So I'll start with the scented is a light floral fragrance.
Oh, really?
And then yeah. So we tested quite a few different fragrances, Dave, but when push came to shove, this is the one that really not only took the best, but seemed to have the most effervescence and seemed to be very palatable. So that's the route we took.
So I can't say orange anymore then, huh?
For this product, no, it's not. There's no orange oil, so there's no orange scent to this product whatsoever. So it's different.
So that problem that some of the people thought they had with the orange oil thing is now not there.
That's correct. So this, not to get too far in the weeds, but the new technology as far as the combination here is versus it being hydrogen peroxide and the cold pressed orange oil, excuse me, this time with the OxiGenesis, it's going to be the combination of the hydrogen peroxide and phosphoric acid. That combination is what's getting us to that level, and that's what's getting us to those kill claims as far as a disinfectant.
Okay, so I know that people are saying, you know what, we've been inundated with all of these new hydrogen peroxide-based products. EnvirOx was the creator of this technology and the starter of it 25 years ago. How do you compete with everybody else that says, I've got the me too now?
No, fair question. So, what's exciting is we are the pioneers, and we are the innovators of this technology, going on almost with a patent itself going on 30 plus years, which is really awesome.
Right.
But as far as competition goes, everyone's tried to duplicate H2 Orange 2, and
right.
They have their blend of it, clean by peroxy, you name it. But no one's been able to do one thing, which is phenomenal for us.
All right.
No one's been able to stabilize it the way EnvirOx has. My competitors in the secondary bottle, that product is only good in the competitive landscape for roughly 7 to 10 days. When you dilute H2 Orange 2 in the secondary bottle, by doing it by third-party testing, we keep our efficacy for up to 60 days in a secondary bottle. That's unheard of, Dave. So
this is true for this new product as a disinfectant, correct?
We've done the same testing. So yes, it meets those same standards in the secondary bottle, minimum 60 days efficacy.
So folks, what we're saying here at the end of this podcast is that OxiGenesis is stable for 60 days in a secondary bottle. It's got 4 dilutions, cost effective, from the originators of hydrogen peroxide technology. Did I wrap that up right?
That sounds fair.
Folks, I'm learning right along with you. We appreciate your time listening to Brad and I talk about EnvirOx. Please come to one of the workshops that Brad's going to be doing. You see the dates going across there. If you're watching on YouTube, Orlando, June 9th, Clearwater, June 10th. Ocala goes into July. I can't keep up with it. We're going to have it in the notes. Watch across the screen there. Brad, thanks for coming on, and we'll see you here in a few months.
Awesome, Dave. Thanks for your time, bud. I appreciate it, man.
When my father invented H2 Orange 2, he revolutionized the cleaning industry. When we harnessed the power of hydrogen peroxide, blended with the scent and the benefits of cold-pressed orange oil, it proved that you could have the power of traditional cleaning without the harsh chemicals that are bad for people and bad for the planet. Since that original technology, we've grown EnvirOx into a company where innovation and safety are key. Now we have a carefully curated line of cleaning products. We make products that are better for the environment. Sure, they're also better for the cleaning workers and everyone who lives, works, and plays in those spaces.